Hello everybody, Dan here with TrendSpider, and I wanted to share something with you that I'm noticing on the ARK funds, the Cathie Woods ETFs, as well as a lot of tech growth names that I've been coming across. Right, so I was just sitting here flipping through these charts and I thought I should make a little video to kind of just point this out. Right, so this is what you see on my screen here. This is ARKK, right, and this is the ARK fund that put ARK on the map, right? So this is their first fund, their biggest fund, and everybody knows these things had a huge run, right? You can see that here from like the 30s to the 150s, right? From the COVID lows until early this year, it was just straight up, right? And then early this year, it just pulled back really sharply. It was definitely an elevator down type of scenario. And then it just kind of sat around and it's been stuck in this range, right, between 125 and 100 bucks, just oscillating back and forth. And a lot of people are looking at this and seeing an inverse head and shoulders or some kind of W formation, right? But the gist of it is people are seeing basing, and I believe that to be the case as well. So you can see that on ARKK. But what's interesting to me is despite the slightly different composition on their other ETFs, you can see it on them as well. So we can flip to ARKQ, which is their autonomous tech and robotics ETF. And you got the same kind of story going on here, right? You have the big run up, you have the sharp elevator down pullback, and you have the sideways wide range consolidation that looks like some kind of accumulation pattern or inverse head and shoulders or something along those lines. You can keep going. ARKW, which is their next generation web ETF, looks exactly the same, right? Huge run, elevator down pullback, sideways basing formation. And you know, I'm sure you're noticing as I flip through these, but the volume profile on the right is also indicating a lot of volume transacting at these areas. Remember, my volume profile in this chart and all these charts is year to date, so we're looking from the beginning of the year until today. And you know, what's interesting is you can also see the same thing on their other slightly different ETFs. IZRL, for example, is their Israeli innovation ETF. It's like ARKK if it only invested in Israeli companies, and you can see the exact same type of thing going on here, right? Big run up, big pull back, and then a basing and accumulation type of formation forming. This one in particular seems to be lagging some of the others, but the story is very similar. You can look at their PRNT, which is their 3D printing ETF. This one puts money into companies that focus on 3D printing materials, technologies, anything related to it. And you can see the same exact type of thing going on here, right? It's big pull, rally, big sharp pullback, and then sideways consolidation with volume around these levels. ARKX is one of their newest funds. This one just came out earlier this year, so there's no history for it to have that big run last year. But you can see that, you know, you can use your imagination and in your head see that if it did, it would look very similar, because this price action right here looks very similar to the price action that some of the other ARK funds have been showing since the same date, right, since late April of this year. ARKF, which is their ETF that focuses on fintech, looks the same as ARKK and Q and W and PRNT, right? They all look very similar. You can see that in their genomics ETF as well, right? This one invests in biotechs, right? And for me, that's interesting because these, while managed by the same manager, they all have a focus on growth, on innovation, right? And while they have their own specializations, web or genomics or whatever, they do have a little bit of overlap, but not a ton in most of them. And yet they all are printing very similar charts. You know, to me, the message there is that growth is basing, right? High value growth. And if that's the case, then this could be one of the best opportunities to load up on some of the ARK funds. I'm not telling you to do that, but it's something that I've been thinking about doing myself because of these charts. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you guys find this interesting and useful. If you haven't checked it out already, I wouldn't be doing you a favor by not plugging it. Download the TrendSpider mobile app because it's pretty awesome. I've been sitting outside watching my dog run around while flipping through the charts and making this video for you guys. So anyways, thank you very much and take it easy.